All right, Ashley, we're back with our weekly recap from our picks last week. Oh my God, let me applaud you subtly right now because you, ma'am, are all guts.
Thank you.
Not only did you do a 4-leg parlay, and we'll get to the dog you picked after, but
Yeah.
this parlay, I mean, the only way it got ruined was that by the Wizards had to take out their Harry Potter attire and Expelliarmus Luka Doncic back to just being a normal player for one game.
So he didn't hit double-digit assists in that game. He hit 30-plus points,
Yeah.
but it was the assists. I think he's really underrated still as a facilitator in this. And then he
100%.
went on to beat the Milwaukee Bucks with his squad 2 days later, where he averaged 30-plus points and 15 dimes. I was just like, are you joking? Thank you so much, Luka. You owe me dinner. Not together, separately, but together, tables of one for each. Anyway, I digress. That killed me because I was so...
Black card for him.
I
Okay.
was so confident.
Yeah.
I really had no doubt in my mind. I thought I was going to kill it. And so for the Mavs to be the ones who failed me on the road, fair enough.
Against the Wizards.
It was hurtful.
Let's go to the dog because
Yeah.
this isn't just a casual underdog. This was a 3.6. This is the Grizzlies without Ja Morant facing the Suns, who are unbeatable this year.
The best team in the league.
The best team in the league.
The best team in the league, the most consistent team in the league, a team that's been able to do it without their superstars in the lineup. And quite frankly, the Grizzlies have replicated that a little bit. As you mentioned, Ja Morant-less, but they're still able to take it on the chin. They were 20-2 without Ja heading into this game. They actually only fielded one starter in this game as well. And I think that the moment, I was kind of betting on the moment.
Yes, this is what I want to know, because when you say
Yeah.
something like this, you knew that history was going to stop right there for the Suns, and it wasn't going to happen on that night. What were the analytics telling you?
You've been waiting since the early 2000s, the Steve Nash Suns, in order to break this franchise record. It was set in the early 1990s with Charles Barkley, so it's not an easy thing to do. Just because they're on a run, sometimes the moment can get the better of you. Memphis at home with a chance to show out against the team that everyone says is far superior to them. I thought they would rise to the occasion, and they did.
And a great mental edge going into the playoffs, right?
Strong.
Now that you know that you can beat that team without your superstar, who is in himself all-world.
Speaking of a mental edge, I feel like you fortified your confidence in yourself. We all believed in you, myself included, but you went and did 4 games, and you were hitting them, correct, yes, perfect, immaculate, beautiful, scrumptious, everything that you can say to describe what Brad did this weekend. Put it in the comments because you were perfect.
Listen, we did have a couple for sure, which were the New Jersey Devils getting beaten by the Florida Panthers, who have been all-world this year. And also, too, one that this is actually hard for me to say on camera, but the first time I've ever bet on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they've won 6-3 over the Philadelphia Flyers. And what I loved about that game was not only are they scoring now, but the defense seems to be tightening up. Mark Giordano seems to be finding his way, although he's kind of struggling in the points column. But then the one that I was kind of worried about was Boston going into Columbus for the same reason that you thought the Suns were going to lose. I thought that Boston's momentum was going to come to an end because Pasternak has just been playing at an all-NHL level, but that didn't happen. Boston went in and won. And obviously the game of the week that we talked about last week.
Avalanches.
Oh my God, the Avalanches, your favorite. Pittsburgh going into Colorado to play the Avalanche. What I loved about the Avalanche was last year in the playoffs, we said, listen, this is a goaltender team that needs to improve a little bit or find a better defensive structure. When you bring in Sid and Malkin and keep them to 2 goals and you score 3, that's a win, not only in that column, but mental edge going, and that is scary in the playoffs.
Well, and it's important for Colorado to assert themselves over any team in another conference because you see it all the time, right? It's like, oh, top of the East, top of the West, and if your West counterpart can beat someone in the East, then the East kind of is a little bit more shaky. But if, Pittsburgh beats Colorado, and then anyone who's ever beaten Pittsburgh is like, okay, cool, we have their number.
100%.
It's reverse math, but I promise it works.
No, we go in. This is a 1 versus 5 team in the NHL, so you're correct when saying that.
Take the 2 and carry the 1. And finally,
remainder 5.
And find us on Twitter at Brad C. Smith. I'm at Smartash. Every single Friday, we put our picks out, what we're looking at, games that we really believe in. Honestly, they're not just fool's gold. These are things that we are actually looking at, actually putting our money where our mouth is.
This week is my UFC pick, so I'm going to go gutsy on this week's picks.
I love it.
Because of you.
Maybe don't trust it then.